My name is Erin, and me and my friend Adrian, my best friend going all the way back to first grade, and I embarked on our first backpacking adventure in the heart of the North Cascades. We had both just graduated from college and planned this adventure as gifts to ourselves. It was late June, and we had chosen the Pacific Crest Trail as our path into the great outdoors. The higher we climbed, the more the trail became a snowy landscape despite the season. Snow navigation was a new challenge for us novices, and we soon found ourselves knee-deep in the frozen terrain. After 3 days of stumbling through the snow, we decided it was time to move southward to White Pass, hoping to leave the snowy obstacles behind. As we descended, the weather took a sour turn. Hail and rain pelted our car during the drive, making us appreciate our decision even more. We parked our car at White Pass, and our adventure began with a strange encounter. A fellow hiker approached us, his curiosity about our car and gear almost too intrusive. He wanted to know every detail about us, and it seemed he overheard me mentioning to Adrian that he seemed unhinged. The stranger's demeanor darkened, and he shot us a chilling glare as we drove away. We were relieved to start our hike once he had left, but the late hour and the dimming light were against us. It was already late afternoon, around 4 to 5 p.m., when we hit the trail. The path was marred with horse manure for a good portion, but as we hiked further, we encountered substantial snowfields. Post-holing became our new challenge as our feet plunged 6 to 10 inches into the snow with each step. We were progressing, but the sun was gradually setting, casting the land in shadow. Our bickering began when we realized we were nowhere near a suitable camping spot. We debated whether to turn back or press on, but neither direction seemed promising. The tension was palpable as we made the reluctant decision to push forward. With the daylight fading fast, we reached a small clearing in the snow, our potential campsite for the night. As we set up our tents, unease settled over us. Bear tracks crisscrossed the snow around us, and the trees bore the scars of claw marks, their bark ripped off haphazardly. Bear droppings lay nearby, and a variety of tracks circled our tents. Panic set in as we realized we had little time to secure food. The trees offered few suitable branches, and we struggled to find the right spot to hang our supplies. Adrian's food bag, heavy with weight, hung precariously from a bending branch. The hours slipped away, and we eventually abandoned our attempts to find a better camping spot. We knew we had to hang our food high and fast, with darkness creeping. Desperation drove us, and our attempts grew more frenzied. In the dim light, my Adrian began piling large branches around her food, a feeble attempt to deter any potential bears. It was far from foolproof, and we both realized that bears could easily overcome this makeshift barrier. We retreated to our tents as night fell, clutching our knives in fear. The wilderness seemed alive with unknown dangers, and the isolation deepened our anxiety. We tried to send our coordinates to family, but there was no signal. With the forest holding its secrets close, we braced ourselves for a long, uncertain night. Around 3 a.m., a blood-curdling scream shattered the stillness, and I heard Adrian's tent tumbling about. In a rush of panic, I unzipped my tent and shone my headlamp into the darkness. To my immense relief, there was nothing in sight. Adrian's tent had collapsed in the snow, and we laughed nervously, the tension slowly dissipating. Adrian decided to bring her sleeping bag to my tent, and we'd stay together. But as we settled back into our sleeping bags, a feeling of dread crept over us. The night was far from over, and in the eerie silence of the wilderness, an unsettling question lingered in our minds. What had caused that scream, and why had Adrian's tent collapsed so suddenly? Sleep remained elusive as we listened intently to the sounds of the forest. Every rustle of leaves and every distant hoot of an owl seemed to take on a threatening meaning. And then, from beyond the trees, we heard an unearthly whisper, a voice that did not belong to the living. It spoke in a language we couldn't comprehend, filled with malice and despair. Our hearts pounded, and fear gripped us once more. The source of the scream, the collapsing tent, these were but harbingers of something far more demonic lurking in the darkness. We clutched our knives, knowing they offered little defense against the unknown. The whispering grew louder, and we huddled in my tent together, paralyzed by terror. The temperature dropped, and a bone-chilling wind swept through the camp. Shadows danced menacingly outside, and the night seemed endless. As dawn finally broke, we emerged from my tent, our faces etched with exhaustion and fear. The whispering had ceased, but the evil presence still hung in the air. We packed up hurriedly, eager to leave this accursed place behind. To this day, we can't explain the horrors we encountered that night, nor the origin of that chilling whisper. It haunts our dreams, a constant reminder of the unfathomable darkness that can lurk in the heart of the wilderness.
Venturing into the woods near Devil's River, I uncovered the haunting legend of the Wolf Girl. My name is Beau, and this mysterious tale, set in the 1800s, revolves around Espantosa Lake and its nightly ghostly fog. It tells the story of a girl seen eating alongside a pack of wolves captured by cowboys and then vanishing into the night. It was a warm summer evening when I decided to embark on a camping trip near Devil's River. I had always been drawn to stories of the supernatural, and I couldn't resist exploring the legend of the Wolf Girl. Armed with a backpack and a tent, I ventured deep into the dense woods. The sun was beginning to set, casting eerie shadows among the trees. The air grew colder, and I couldn't help but feel watched. As I set up my camp, the unsettling thought of being alone in this remote place crept into my mind. Sitting by the campfire, I listened to the night sounds. Then, I heard the distant whispers of voices from the past. They spoke of a girl who had been lost in the woods and had become one with the wolves. Intrigued and a bit unnerved, I delved deeper into the tale. In 1845, a young boy stumbled upon a horrifying sight near Espantosa Lake. He saw a girl, no older than him, feasting on a goat alongside a pack of wolves. The presence had chilled him to the bone, and he ran to the nearest cowboys to report what he had witnessed. Espantosa Lake was notorious in the region for the ghostly fog that enshrouded it each night. Locals believed that the spirits of the girl and the wolves still roamed the area. Some said the fog was their way of concealing their presence, a warning to those who dared to venture too close. Upon hearing the boy's account, the cowboys decided to capture the girl. They locked her in a small shack, believing her to be a lost soul. But the shed was no match for her determination. In the dead of night, she escaped. And from that moment on, the Wolf Girl was never seen again. As I continued to explore the area, I couldn't help but wonder if the Wolf Girl's spirit still lingered. The rustling of leaves, the hushed whispers in the wind, and the ghostly fog that began to roll in further fueled my imagination. My curiosity led me closer to Espantosa Lake. The moon was high, casting a weird glow on the water. I couldn't help but feel that I was not alone. It was as if the spirits of the past were trying to communicate with me. Standing at the edge of the haunted lake, I felt a chill run down my spine. The legends were true, and I had ventured into a realm where the past and the present converged. The ghostly fog enveloped me, and I felt something or someone lightly touch my shoulder. I began to feel a sense of unease. I was being surrounded by a presence. That's when I knew I was in the attendance of something mystical. I couldn't deny the truth any longer. The Wolf Girl was not a myth. She was a part of this place, forever bound to the wilderness. As I packed my belongings and left, I couldn't help but feel that I had uncovered a secret that should have remained hidden. The chilling tale of the Wolf Girl would continue to haunt those who dared to venture into the woods near Devil's River. The past and the present would forever be intertwined, a reminder that some legends are more than just stories. They are a part of the land they haunt.